Greetings, Dungeon Crushers. In this video, we'll explore the Pendant of the Conqueror. We'll learn what it's made of, what boss awaits us, what challenges await us in battle, and of course what runes we can obtain. Let's start with the fact that for crafting we will need 3 ingredients: coal and solar essence, 5 units of viscous gold, and 25 core leather. There won't be any problems with the core leather. It drops as you progress through the levels. There are 2 ways to obtain viscous gold. First, from the chest obtained by defeating Rox the Solar Guardian. Second, you can craft it yourself. However, this requires gilding, which can be obtained by defeating Fire Eye. We've already dealt with this enemy in previous videos. And finally, the Solar Essence. It requires 3 components: 3 Solar Hearts, which drop from Rox the Solar Guardian. We already defeated him with a minimum deck in the previous video. 2 Demon's Horn. These can be purchased from other players or obtained by completing the clan siege quest, Liquid of the Void. It's created by recrafting Void, then refining it into Void Fluid. Yes, crafting is expensive and requires a lot of resources, but the results are worth it. You'll receive a rune as a reward, which can significantly boost your deck if you're lucky. After you crafted the Pendant of the Conqueror and after activating it, you are met by the boss Belgon, the Conqueror, and 4 of Adi the Hawk assistants. The main enemy here is Belgon, the Conqueror. He possesses a whole host of powerful abilities. Active attack. Deals heavy damage to 3 random enemies at once. Devour. Leaves the enemy with no more than 30% health, while simultaneously restoring his own HP, making Belgon extremely durable. Defense boost. His active ability increases his DF. During combat, Belgon can increase his defense to such an extent that damage inflicted on him is minimal. This combination of high damage, health restoration, and increased defense makes Belgon a very challenging opponent. Boss's minions, Adi the Hawk. Each of them has the following features. Active ability. Deals heavy damage to all enemies at once, creating powerful pressure on the entire deck. Damage return. When hit by a normal attack, they return 75% of the damage to 3 random enemies, making them extremely dangerous for attacking heroes. Prenex, the Deceiver, has a similar mechanic. The Rune of Endurance increases their survivability and allows them to stay on the battlefield longer. Together, these helpers are able to quickly clear our board, creating serious pressure on the deck. Killing this boss is generally straightforward. Belgon can be defeated by any 230 elite, leveled to Galactic Rarity and 4 stars. The easiest and fastest way to defeat him is with 230 elite hero with a Whiz attack, Quasar. Belgon doesn't increase defense Whiz, therefore Quasar attacks deal consistent damage, making the fight much faster. Therefore, using Quasar is one of the most reliable ways to defeat Belgon and his Hawks without wasting too much time. Regular 230 elites that deal damage through 80k are also suitable. However, it's worth keeping in mind that such a fight will take longer as Belgon actively increases its defense stat. But it's better to prepare in advance. Give as many runes as possible that enhance the stats of our elite. For example, ally runes or hunter runes are excellent against humans. Also, use the Devour Immunity rune to protect against the boss's attack. Belgon is dangerous with its Devour ability, which leaves the enemy with only 30% health and restores their HP. To neutralize this effect, use the Devour Immunity rune. It will protect the heroes and prolong their life in battle. After preparing, attack the boss with X5 boost attacks. In my case, victory took about 20 minutes, and that was with a deck without top tier runes. If you have stronger heroes or special runes in your arsenal, the time to kill the boss will be significantly shorter. After defeating this enemy, you will receive a Conqueror's chest at level 3. There's a chance it will drop a Conqueror's pouch, which is your main goal. The chest also contains 3 less valuable rewards: Scroll Folder LVL1, 2 Equipment Pouch. If you're lucky enough to receive a bag of runes, you're guaranteed to receive one of 10 steel runes after opening it. All of these runes share the same secondary stat, type opening, chance 75%. Effect adds the human race. However, their primary ability differs. The main thing is that no matter which rune you get, it will still bring enormous benefits. Each of them will grant your hero the human race. For example, you can turn Morris into a human and strengthen him as a representative of this race through Isolde. Early on, humans are the easiest race to buff, so any of these runes will be a great boost to your deck in different weeks. Some runes are more useful than others. Now we'll take a closer look at each of them. The first rune is Steel Rune 1, type Opening, chance 90%. It grants the hero the passive ability Animosity, which increases damage against dragons. However, it's worth noting that this ability doesn't have a significant impact in any game mode. Therefore, Steel Rune 1 can be considered weak. Its property is of little use and doesn't provide a noticeable boost. Steel Rune 2, type Opening, chance 90%. It grants the hero the passive ability Weakening. The maximum benefit from this effect can only be seen in PvP modes such as League. This effect does not apply to bosses, therefore Steel Rune 2 can be considered weak. Its property is of little use and does not provide a noticeable boost in key game modes. The third is Steel Rune 3, type Opening, chance 90%. This rune increases the hero's attack by 2000. This stat is added to the base stats. However, the effect doesn't provide a significant buff and has virtually no impact on the hero's overall strength. Therefore, Steel Rune 3 can be considered weak. Its properties are of little use and you shouldn't expect a significant boost. Steel Rune 4, type Opening, chance 50%. This rune increases the hero's non-magical damage by 35%. This bonus can indeed slightly strengthen the deck as the hero's damage increases. However, it's worth keeping in mind the chance of activating the effect is low, only 50%. Therefore, Steel Rune 4 can be considered a medium strength rune. It can provide a damage boost, but its properties are unstable and don't always work. Steel Rune 5, type Discovery, chance 90%. This rune increases the attack, Vis AG and defense of 3 random allies by 20%. However, it only works on human heroes. This is a truly good rune, useful for buffering heroes, especially if they're going to be frequently resurrected. In this case, the hero will be able to provide not only their main skill buff, but also an additional buff from the rune. Therefore, Steel Rune 5 can be considered a good rune. It's perfect for buffering heroes and can significantly strengthen the team. Steel Rune 6, type Opening, chance 90%. This rune increases the Atka, Vis, agility, and def of all allies by 35%. However, it only works if you have 5 human heroes on the field. This rune is great for buffer heroes, but there's one unfortunate limitation. If you have fewer than 5 human heroes, the effect simply won't activate. This limitation significantly complicates the use of this rune. Therefore, Steel Rune 6 is considered weak for beginners. Its potential is only realized in specific decks with a full complement of human heroes. Steel Rune 7, type Opening, chance 90%. This rune increases resistance to non-magical damage by 10%. It provides minor protection, reducing damage taken from attack or agility. It can be used in both PvP and PvE modes, but it doesn't provide a significant boost. Therefore, Steel Rune 7 can be considered weak. Its properties are of limited use and don't have a significant impact on the outcome of combat. Steel Rune 8, type Opening, probability 90%. This rune increases all hero stats by 50% if there is at least one dragon among the opponents. However, its use is extremely limited. In PvE modes, it is very rare to encounter opponents of the dragon race. Dragons can occasionally be encountered in the League, but this is the exception rather than the rule. Therefore, Steel Rune 8 is considered weak. Steel Rune 9, type Active, chance 5%. This rune increases the attack, Vis, and defense of 3 random allies by 100%. However, it only works on human heroes. Steel Rune 9 is one of the most coveted. A hero with this rune can additionally buff human allies with their active ability, making it extremely useful. However, the proc chance is very low, only 5%. Therefore, without the Arbiter of Nature, its effectiveness will be minimal. However, if you have a Arbiter of Nature, he can increase the chance of activating the rune's ability, unlocking its true potential. Therefore, Steel Rune IX is considered a strong rune. Steel Rune 10. Type, opening, chance, 100%. This rune increases the hero's attack, Viz, AJ, and defense by 20% if there is at least one human ally. It provides a small stat boost and is essentially identical to the ally rune for humans. Due to its modest buff, Steel Rune 10 can be considered weak. Its effect has no significant impact on combat and serves only as an additional bonus. The most important thing about this summon is getting any of the runes. All of them allow you to turn any hero into a human. This opens up flexibility in deck building and significantly increases the variety of strategies. Each rune has its own characteristics. Some provide only a small buff, others can significantly strengthen your team, and some can radically change the course of a battle. Therefore, the value of this summon lies not so much in the specific rune itself, but in the ability to transform any hero into a human and utilize the synergy with that race's buffers. If you found this video helpful and would like to see a review of all crafting summons in this format, be sure to let us know in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. There are even more exciting tests and discoveries ahead. And remember, videos are posted on Boosty before YouTube, so if you want to see everything first, check them out.